Hi everybody, hope everybody's doing well, and it's just about the end of the summer and I got some time to do some crafting. It was inspired by the Facebook group, the Foxy Crafters, and Tracy was running a challenge this month to make it mini, and I picked up a couple envelopes. I wanted to do something, didn't know what I wanted to do, started cutting and folding and ended up with this. It is not a journal and it is not a folio, so I'm calling it a mini tuck book because there are a lot of little places to tuck your little things. So I started with 2 6x9 envelopes, and I'll basically show you the cuts in the assembly after going through this. So fly in here, welcome to summer. But I used the Stamperia, however you pronounce it, Old Lace paper collection, which was the very first one from that line that I got. And man, I love their papers, they're so gorgeous. And on the outside, I took some vintage crocheted lace to tie it up, and then this is an antique piece of a cotton type lace, and I'm almost completely out of it, and that's one of my favorite ones. I absolutely love it. So when you open it up, closed up, it measures 4.75 across by 3 inches tall. So when you open it up, there are 2 pockets, and in each pocket I've tucked a tiny little journal. There's a tuck spot on the inside cover and a tuck spot on the backside cover, and this one has 2, 3, 4 4 sheets of coffee stained paper to do a little writing. And I scaled down some of my antique ephemera and cut it down, so the measurements on that roughly I think it was 2 1/4 by 1 1/2, something like that. I'd have to measure it again, or go back and look to what I wrote down. So that one's an antique postcard. This one is the back of an antique cabinet card with the photographer's mark. And that tucks back in there. And another one on this side. It's the same as far as with the tucks on the inside covers, postcard. And I did go around and used vintage photo distress ink around the edges of everything. And another photographer's studio mark. Tuck that back in. Okay, and then you open it up, and this flips up and then flips open, and there's a pocket here with a couple little mini ephemera pieces, 10 pages for writing, and that's also coffee dyed, and another tuck there. And then below it is a double pocket, and this is from the paper line. And this one. And these back ones are a little bit tight. And on the on all the tags, I used the seam binding. It started out, I coffee dyed it, and it started out that color, and the coffee dye just made it this gorgeous, almost like an antique gold color. So what's on top is the original, and down below is the coffee dyed. I just love how that came out. So I will definitely be dyeing more of that. So let's see if I can get this back in here without too much fuss. There we go. And then in the very center, sorry about that, some more coffee dyed paper. Yeah, just little signatures, and you know, all the little signatures I did sew in. And here are 2 more little pockets here. Another postcard and studio mark. Okay, and then the side is the same with the 2 pockets. There we go. And I did back all these little pieces with coffee dyed paper, so that I didn't have the stark white background, and it did add a little, excuse me, a little bit of strength to it too. And again, this flips up and opens up. 2 little pockets, or pocket on the inside of each cover. And 2 more pockets with tags here. So, and, but wait, there's more. And then across the top, these are open, so you can tuck in little tags or little bits, whatever you feel like. And with tags that go in there, I just tied on some more of the coffee stained seam binding, and this is some vintage lace, and I added little beads on the bulb pins, just so that there would be a little something peeking out when it's all folded up. Okay, and then there's this one. I will put that back later. This one. This fly is going to drive me nuts. And this one. So that is the mini tuck book, where you can tuck little bits, tuck away your thoughts, whatever you feel like tucking on in there. And I did, before I set the signature in the center, I did put some washi tape on there, and I did use glue just to strengthen that spine a little bit more. And you can see it does get a little fat when it's all folded up, but there is still room for more goodies in there. So now I'm just going to go through the basics of what I did. So I started with 2 of these. Let me zoom this out a little bit. 2 of these 6x9 envelopes, and like I said, I didn't know what I was going to be doing. I just started to play a little bit. I knew I wanted to do something miniature, so I was like, okay, well, let me start by cutting this in half. And I had this with the flap folded down at the top of my cutting board, and I didn't apply a lot of pressure, so I cut through and then realized that it didn't cut through this part. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I left it that way. Didn't cut it. So this one is cut. So you basically, you end up with that. And these are 6 by 9, so these pieces are 3 inches. Now if I can remember how I folded it. Okay. And I covered it up with paper, so I'm not quite sure. So what I ended up doing was taking the flap, took the adhesive strip off, put glue down, and glued it down. And then, yeah, I just kept that, and I think I ended up gluing the paper to it. What did I do? What did I do? Yes, so it is thicker in that spot, you know, once it's glued down. And, oops. Okay, so that's secured down. And I have my second envelope. So once it was secured down, I folded it in half on each side and fold in half again. So that's where you get the base of the book. And you're keeping the cut side at the top. So then I took my other 6 by 9 envelope, cut it down the middle, but this time I did cut through the flat part, so that's hanging on there. And that gave me 2 pieces that are like that. So when it's folded up, it's 3 by 3. And after I put the paper on it, let me get this back in mode here. After I put the paper on it, and and after I dressed up the sides, put the paper over top of here, I took this and took off the adhesive strip, and I added glue, and I secured it where the seam meets the top of the envelope, or the top of the pocket, and glued that down. So then you open it up and you have this. Now I did add the signature first. I added the papers, I added the signature. The little pockets on the sides are glued on. So you have 2 of those out of the 1 envelope. So those go like that. Okay, and then I had 2 3 by 6 strips that I cut down from it. And I basically just folded it so that it would be a pocket here. It would be glued down at the sides and the bottom, and there would be a pocket here. And I used a 1-inch hole punch to make the little notches. And that's what this is. I'll take these out so you can see it a little better. So then there are 2 of those. And then I had the corner pieces left, which happened to be 3 by 3 squares, ready-made tuck spot, but I just went ahead and folded that in so it would be obvious that it was a double pocket. Put the paper on it and glued it down on the 3 sides, top, side, and bottom. So the tuck spot is there and the tuck spot is there. And here is the second one, and that goes there. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Once I figured out what I was doing, it went pretty quickly. I think the hardest part was after I got figured out what I was doing, was picking out the little ephemera bits that I was adding to it. And yeah, I mean, there's still room. I'm probably going to add a couple little miniature envelopes in there and tuck them away in somewhere. But that is it. That is the mini tuck book, where you can tuck away your bits and your thoughts. And you could add little pictures in there if you wanted to, and tie it up. You can keep it in your purse. I mean, you could use this as a little brag book if you wanted to. You know, if you have pictures of your kids or grandkids, what have you. I will tell you that once it's closed, these top pockets are very tight, so position those how I want them. And once it's closed, it's not going to shift around. So, okay, well, I hope you'll give a go at trying this. I would love to see what you come up with, and how you decorate it and all that kind of good stuff, and what you decide to tuck in. If you have any questions, just put them down in the comments. I will try to answer as time allows. And that is it for now. Tracy, thank you for the challenge. I had a lot of fun with this. It did take me time over the course of several evenings. A little bit here, a little bit there, as I was trying to figure out what I was doing. But it just felt really good to be doing something creative and crafty again. So that's it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will hopefully see you soon. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.